Good morning, my friends. Looks like a beautiful day to work on a total Evo 10. Before we head inside, look at all the parts that we have removed from the Evo 10 so far. This is pretty much all of it. There might be a few other little pieces that I've just thrown away, but for the most part, this is everything cut off and removed from this car right here. That is bizarre. So many parts and pieces. Well, today should be an interior day for the project. We have so much to do. Wiring, dash bar, dash pad, of course all the carpet, the headliner. Man, oh man. Pretty much all of that needs to go in here. That's a lot of stuff. Let's get the EM1 out, the Evo 8 out, get all the interior laid out on the ground here, and kind of get a rough idea and game plan as to the sequence of installation. So here we have the full interior laid out for the final edition. All black, literally all black everything. Black headliner, black door cards, a very, very nice set of Recaro seats for the project, with of course matching rear seats, the center console, dash bar with harness, steering column, a bin full of parts, another bin full of parts, heater core and blower motor, carpet, and another box full of parts. To start off, we need to knock out a bunch of wiring, just stuff that's already in here. So the floor harness, there's a roof harness, there's the main power harness that runs up to the distribution block right here. Pretty much everything that's in here needs to be rerouted back to its original location. I do want to go through, get it cleaned up a little bit better. There's some dust, dirt, and grime on the floor. So let's just work with what we got in here for now. So I got a bunch of stuff situated in the interior and with the firewall. The next thing that needs to go in is the fuse box and the harness that runs on the inside. That has to go in before the dash can go in. And of course the one that was on this car was absolutely destroyed when it got in a wreck. It ruined the fuse box. But in that box right there, we do have a new fuse box and wiring harness. Nice 2014 GSR harness. 2014, 2015 are the same. Let's give this thing a degrease, pressure wash, blow it off with compressed air, get all the water out of the connectors, and we can get her installed onto the car. Our harness is complete in the engine bay. We ran through the firewall where it needs to go through. Now we can head on the inside and start dealing with all of this wiring that is passed through in here. We are finally ready for the dash bar itself with all that wiring and the heater core / blower motor. Let's get all that sorted, and as soon as that's done, it's fairly smooth sailing from here on out. Pretty much all the wiring will be complete with the interior. Then we have the dash pad, carpet, sunroof, seats, door cards, that kind of fun stuff. Wiring isn't all that fun because if you miss one little thing, one clip, one ground wire, one anything, you got problems. We just got a package in. This is quite literally perfect timing. So this is my goodies from Safety Restore. They went ahead, restored, reset the airbag module, needs to be done every time you have an airbag blow in your car. Either reset it or replace it. It's much easier and cheaper to reset it. So here's the airbag module itself. Hopefully it still works, I just dropped it. Big thank you to Safety Restore for taking care of that. And also when you get in a wreck and you're wearing your seatbelt, which of course you should be, your seatbelt locks up. So Safety Restore can also reset your seatbelt so that you don't have to buy a new one. This needs to go in before we can move on. I might need to pull that blower motor up a little bit just to get this guy bolted in place, but big thank you to Safety Restore for getting this taken care of. I'll have them linked down in the description box below if you're doing a wrecked rebuild and you need some goodies restored for your build. All right, progress check. That guy's in, blower motor's in, all the pedals are in, ton of the wiring's done. This thing's officially, finally ready. I feel like I keep saying this, but she's ready for the dash. Let's put it in the dash. The dash bar is in with the harness. Now we have a billion gazillion wires to connect. We got the dash bar in with all of the wiring, steering column. We are ready for the dash pad. We now have a dash pad in the freaking car. Let's get everything to do with the dash finished up. Then we can move on to the carpet, center console. I'll probably save the headliner for last. So with the dash, we have the gauge cluster, of course the steering column stuff, radio, glove box, some vents, airbag, steering wheel. Let's get all that done. Before we get the carpet in the car, let's give this thing a good old cleaning. I'm confident it's going to clean up very, very nicely with compressed air and a vacuum is what I prefer to use. If it's really, really dirty, degreaser and pressure washer is the move, but we should be fine with just a vacuum and compressed air to get the dirt up out of the carpet fibers. From here, I'm gonna work on getting that whole entire center console completed. I really, really like the final edition center console. Let's get it installed. I'll show you why. So here's a good look at the final edition center console. You have the red stitching there on the armrest, covered cubbies there, red stitching on the e-brake handle. Overall, it's just a nice, clean unit. I know it's pretty dark in here, but here's the non-final edition. No red stitching there, no red stitching there, no cubbies up front. It's just a blank hole. Of course, this is my white Evo 10. We have the WK shifter in here with the big old Tesla screen. I do definitely want to get a different radio for the final edition. I don't think I'm gonna go this big, but I do want to do a nice Android unit in there. Of course, the coolest part about the final edition is the black pillars, the black headliner. Now, final editions didn't come with Recaros. This car is getting the best Recaros possible, the Evo SE Recaros. Let's go ahead and move on to the roof. So we have the headliner, a few lights, sun visors, and that's really about it. Headliner is key to get that in before the glass goes in. If your glass is already installed, you kind of have to just wrinkle it in half, bend it in half, which usually leaves some markings. With the roof stuff complete, we have the seals, all of the kick panels, the pillars, and just the seats remaining, and that is it. We will have a complete, fresh, final edition interior. Oh man, we are nearly complete with the interior. All that remains are the front seats, the rear seats, and all of the door panels. All the fun stuff. I do need to grab an airbag. The steering wheel airbag blew. I had all the other airbags already. That one I have not been able to locate, so I'm just gonna pull it off my car. That just sits around so that we can get this thing 100% complete as far as the interior goes. All right, so this door, fully assembled, door panel on, mirror back on, belt molding back on. This door, fully assembled. This door, guess what? Fully assembled, nice tint. Now I need to reassemble this door. The glass has got to go back in. The reason I completely disassembled this door for paint is because we needed to do a little bit of paint work up here, and much easier to just pull the glass, do it all right. Of course, I do need to redo the blackout on here, but I should be able to do that with the door complete. Just roll down the window, peel back the seal, and whenever the blackout comes in, we can get that done. Let's get this door fully assembled. All that will be left is the airbag. And I'm thinking we could probably power up the car and see if everything works like it should. I have never, ever given this car power. I have no idea if anything works. For all we know, nothing could work. All right, guys, check this out. Final edition, all black everything, interior, fully installed. There's only one change that we're gonna make, well, maybe two. I'll probably put a different shift knob on it. The OEM one is quite bummy, and a different head unit. Not a big fan of this JVC when you can do a good old iDoing Android unit, which is 10,000 times better, but everything else is good to go. This interior is absolutely immaculate. The final edition floor mats are outside. I degreased and pressure washed those, waiting on those to dry, which the floor mats, if you've never seen a final edition floor mat, kind of goes along with all the other red stitching in this car. This is what the final edition floor mat looks like. It says final edition there, nice little red pinstripe. I don't know what you'd call it. Pinstripe, let's call it pinstripe around the outside. These things got to get dried up, vacuumed, blown off so they're mint, get all this hair out of there, and this interior will be quite literally the, in my opinion, the best Evo 10 interior you can get. You cannot go wrong with the final edition headliner and all the other black trims and pillars and all that good stuff. But of course, as you guys know, all the final editions came with some really janky seats, so it needs Recaros, and I really like these Recaros. I kind of want to hook up power, see what happens. Actually, you know what? We cannot do that. There's so many more things that we need. The distribution block was destroyed, so I don't have one of those in here. There's a ton of other wiring that most likely needs to be connected to the fuse box for the interior power to work. But I would say that's a pretty freaking good success. What a good day. When we started the day, there was nothing in the interior. Now it's complete. 100% complete. If you want to win this car, first link down in the description box below. Every $3 you spend is one entry. Now, of course, this car will be complete and modified. We got a ton of aftermarket goodies on the way. In the next video, I need to go through the motor and the trans and the T-case, get all that stuff cleaned up. I don't think I'm going to tear into it. I'll do some light assessment just to make sure everything is good to go. Definitely going to do some maintenance on it, but it only has 15,000 miles on the car. So, not really worth tearing into it too much. But all said and done, I'll give you guys a little spoiler alert. I'm expecting and predicting and estimating this car to make around, it's going to be over 400 wheel. Less than 600, more than 400. I'll stop there. I'll say that and leave it there. I want the goodies to be a surprise. Gotta wrap up today's video right here. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Man, oh man. Great success. This car is coming along very quickly, which is of course exciting. We did have a deadline for the car because of the giveaway, and I'm pleased to say that this car will be done in time for the giveaway for one of you guys to take this thing home. I'm having a ton of fun doing these giveaway builds on the channel. You guys are literally watching me build the car live, and then like my man Wade, who won the STI, one of you guys is gonna take this thing home and hopefully enjoy it. Enjoy it more than I do, because as you guys know, this car I've owned for, I don't even know, years. And it sat for years. Never once got enjoyed. So it is what it is. Goodbye.